What's up, everybody? This is Greg with Advantage One Brokers, and this is the ADV One podcast. This podcast, we come to you each and every weekday with relevant topics and trainings, and we bring on guest speakers. Sometimes just give a nice message. Today, I have the honor and pleasure of welcoming back, actually, Mr. Nick Schrock. Nick, how you doing today?
Thank you so much, Mr. Greg. I'm very, 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 very honored and humbled and grateful to even have the chance to speak with you. And I appreciate you and Mr. Curry and Mr. Spencer and Lance a lot. Like I do, so I appreciate it. How am I doing today? I don't know. Not so well. To be honest with you, but I'm happy to be back. I'm super happy to be back. Got policies already wrote and stuff like that. Just was wanting to get things going, but I know it'll only get better. So,
sometimes you can only go up, and that's good. There's always positivity in that. It's like, hey, the only way we can go is up from here.
Yes, sir.
So the cat's out of the bag. You just announced, hey, you're coming back. So, a lot of people knew about you leaving and you going to the practice company or to another company. And so, what I want to do first is just Nick talk to everyone a little bit about your exodus. What happened? What all happened, what took place, and what was your experience? And we're going to kind of dig into that, and we'll ask some questions. But I just want everyone to hear your experience and why you actually left.
Yes, sir. So first off, I just want to apologize to anybody and everybody, every manager, every person, just flat out. I apologize for any actions that I did. I was being persuaded, by one company to bring a bunch of people over, being overwhelmed, at one time to where, I was questioning my sanity. I was like, I don't even know what's going on, but, I just want to apologize to each and every one of those people, yourself, Greg. There's a lot of people, Wesley and Lance, big, important, Chris and Spencer. I know there's some people that, called me and asked me to work with them directly and stuff like that. But how they had to make it worded was, I need to hear from you. You want to work with Nick directly. Well, nobody ever worked with me directly. That's just the facts. They never did, not once. But, I just want to apologize about anything that I did to, I know I broke a lot of people's trust, and it's going to take a while to gain that back. And I understand, but there's nobody to blame but myself on that. It's a very humbling experience. I feel like, I'm not going to say I'm happy it happened, but in a way, I kind of am. I kind of am happy that, it did happen, not like this, but it just kind of shook me to where, hey, where are you at? You're doing the 75 hard right now. Mm-hmm. It's hey, where are you at? I was not there. I wasn't, I was just all over the place. I was just kind of just going, just moving in the wrong direction. And so I apologize to everything. Genevieve, I apologize to her group. Every group that's out there, I apologize for it. For anything that I may have spoke to any of their agents or may have taken an agent with me. I can assure you those agents are not working. So I may have done you a blessing, but they're not doing well. Let's just say that. But I apologize no matter what. Maybe if they would have stayed, you guys would have turned them into a superstar. And that's what I want to apologize about.
So, well, I really appreciate you doing that, Nick, and coming on and giving everyone a heartfelt apology. And I know it's difficult, and that's that means a lot that you're gonna, come on and publicly announce to everybody. So that means the world.
It's tough, it's I don't know, it's rough. It was, I was surprised to be able to talk to Lance really again, but I think he saw it kind of coming, and maybe everybody saw it coming. I don't know, but just it wasn't what it was, it was not. So my exit was, got to a month to where I was just getting bombarded by calls for the onboarding process here at Advantage One, which now it's completely different. Like, you guys have sped up, and I hope this isn't bad to say, but like, you have balls of steel. Lance has balls of steel. Chris has balls of steel. Spencer has balls of steel. Like, I respect that a lot. Like, hey, stuck to your guns. You did what you said you were going to do. Like, that's amazing. You know, you want to talk about putting your head down and just going. You know, that's what it takes. And, you know, I don't know if it was like me looking for an easy road out to where I had a bunch of people I thought I could take and go with me, you know, to another place, but that other place is not what it is, what everybody says it is. And when I first got there, it was like, no, I have a different vibe about this, because I was welcome like so high, and then boof, just dropped to the floor. Like, hey, got all these people over here, got everything, but got nothing from it. You know, and so all I was wanting to do was work. But I was receiving a lot of calls just about onboarding and stuff like that. People getting very frustrated about their, you know, writing numbers, which takes a while. You know, it does. And at that time, I couldn't even write. Like, you know, I was getting so many calls. I was trying to just help, you know, others out, help Lance out, help my, you know, myself out, help, you know, anybody I could. I felt like I was kind of the last defense, you know, on answering the calls. But in reality, I should have just never answered the phone. You know, it's kind of what I see now, just kind of let it be. And I think that would have been the better route for it all, or to say, hey, you're going to have to contact somebody else. But I didn't know who to have in contact.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, going over, you know, I just, you know, like, I don't feel like, you know, I definitely didn't have a good exit strategy. Like, there was no exit strategy put in place. It was just like, boom, I'm gone. And, you know, that's why, like, I'm like super, like, I'm very humbled. Like, the ego's been killed. You know, like, I'm at the bottom. You know, I'm like at the bottom. I'm at the bottom of the barrel. Like I said, I was like, hey, I'm willing to come back at like 50-50, like whatever it takes, man. I'll do whatever you want. You know, they threw high comp at me and stuff like that, which really came out to be nothing. Found out more stuff later on, but as far as exit strategy goes, I didn't have one. I left on bad terms.
Yeah.
And I ruined a lot of people's trust. I ruined it. And I ruined, you know, my name, my brand, I guess you would say, in some way, shape, or form. I broke it. So it's going to take a while, and I understand, but I take full responsibility for it. It's nobody's fault but my own. So, you know, like the mentorship and stuff like that, we had a lot of people going a lot of places. It was there. I just didn't know who to contact to do it. Now, you know, if I was to reverse it, I could have called 30 people and asked, you know, and they would have known. But, you know, that was kind of the way I left. You know, I left on very bad terms.
Yeah.
And, you know, I said some things that I shouldn't have said to anybody, you know, ever. And business is not done through text messages and stuff like that. And, you know, I did it that way with some people, and I don't ever want that again. You know, so I'm humbly trying to just come from the bottom back up.
Yeah. That's very powerful. You know, you talked about them and them offering you high comp. You talked about them kind of like persuading you. Talk about when you started transitioning over there, what all were they trying to give you in order to entice you into thinking that was the opportunity that they want you to think it is, not what it really is?
So yeah, they offered me high comp, and I wouldn't even say it was high comp really, because I was going to get more. I was going to get more here, but it hadn't happened yet. So I was waiting, you know, doing the waiting game, waiting. But the persuasiveness, like them just coming after me, it was almost like I was being recruited. Now I could see I was, you know, I was reversed. They were just reverse recruiting me. And, you know, I'll be honest, like, it was somebody I actually respected a lot. And then I had a conversation after I left with him on speakerphone, and my wife was like, that guy's a prick. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, he's a former Marine. You know, he's been doing this a while, but she's like, he's that guy's a total prick. I was like, all right, well, thank you for that. And I was like, we'll leave it at that. And he's the one that kept calling me. And I didn't really know what to do. You know, so I was listening. They threw high comp at me. He's like, let me see what I can do for you. Hey, we're going to give you a bunch of free leads to start no matter what. We'll give you a bunch of, we'll give you a bunch of leads, any of the agents that you want to bring. However many agents you can bring, you can, promise them the same thing. We'll give them a bunch of leads. We'll give them a higher comp. How everybody was given the same comp pretty much. It was 120 or 125, like period. And nobody, not one person went direct to me. Nobody. Like I had one buddy that I brought on that went direct to me, like maybe the last 3 weeks I was there. And, I was teaching him daily, and, I was teaching a lot of other people daily, and people kept calling and asking me, what was I doing for live transfers? And, I was trying to just buy through the system and buy through their leads and stuff like that. And I saw they were trash. I was like, I'm not going to just keep wasting money on these trash leads. Like these aren't very good. I was like, I got to buy 150 of these things to get one. And I was like, that's brutal. And I was like, so there's a dial machine. And I was like, I don't want to do that. But, they brought me over and told me to bring over as many people as I can, get as many people on the phone as I can, no matter who it was. And I know there's some managers that were contacted and stuff like that were in, groups, like group chats and stuff like that. But, and that's, you can blame me on that. I think they probably had the number anyway, but came from Symmetry. It turns out everybody came from Symmetry, and kind of finding the whole group out. Like I know, that we have nothing to do with that and stuff like that. Well, they had nothing to do with that. We went to a whole different organization all together, but just it was tough to try to wrap my head around on what to do. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I'm being promised this, and this. All right, this must be a better opportunity. And no, it wasn't. Like I'm like looking back at it now, and like I lost way more money than I made there. Like which stinks. Mm-hmm. But I was trying to do it right, and I wanted to do final expense and learn the mortgage stuff, because mortgage is a lot different. The person that's broken down mortgage the best to me is Lance. He broke it down to me in the simplest form ever. And I brought that up to to this group, and they're like, no, that's not the way to do it. You need to stop doing final expense and focus on this. And you need to just focus on this one carrier. I was like, well, what's the difference in me writing 3 or 4 policies a day versus you writing one? When there's a max, there's a household max. There's a household max. Like I found that out the hard way. Mm-hmm. Writing a $405 policy, and then I'm like, what? There's household max. So how did this person get $10,000? You're telling me on one policy? There's no way. I was like, it's impossible. And so just like the dirty of everything, once you started to really work and do it, you started to see like everything unfold. Like it was just all about, hey, you pump volume. Doesn't matter though. You're kind of a nobody once you get in and bring people in with you. Just bring more people in.
Just another cog in the wheel. They don't even care about you.
No, I was just a number. And, once I brought enough people over, I feel like, asked for, a change, the way they persuaded it, I feel like was very wrong. Like, okay, you need to make sure you say you would like to work with Nick Schrock. I feel like is, it was a lie. Like, no, they were just in the same place, maybe the same situation, same headspace that I was. Like, hey, they were, bogged down. They hadn't been able to work, mm-hmm. but they still had writing numbers. We were told, hey, if you have them, write them. Well, they weren't doing the work, period. So, they went back over and they asked, hey, I want to work with Nick. And then as soon as that was brought up, boom, they got shifted and changed and moved around. I don't even know who they are or where they went or nothing.
Yeah. So you mentioned, just to kind of, I'm going to back up and dig in a little
Yes,
bit.
sir.
You mentioned that they offered you to just give you a bunch of free leads, but then you talked about buying leads on their CRM. So if they're giving you free leads, why purchase any?
So good question. So I was told, hey, you're going to get a bunch of free leads, and these are going to be just grade A leads. Okay, these are going to be polished. These are as good as it gets. I get them. They're a year and a half old, and I pound through them. I dial through them. I call, some other people that are there, that some other buddies, and I'm asking. They're like, man, I'm getting hung. These things are garbage. And I was like, I know. I was like, I feel like we may need to just go back to what we always done, what we know, and just start selling. Like, just start get back into it. Like, don't focus so much on these.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because I don't even know how to do it yet. I'm still trying to learn. And they finally one day was like, hey, let's put together a Zoom call so we can teach these people. And they put one.
So to paint the picture, I'll let you continue, but the same picture. So
Yes, sir.
you just came on board, you get all these free leads. You're told these are a grade A quality leads. You get them, and they're not. They're very clearly not. To the point that you're now reaching out to all these other people that came with you, and you're like, hey, are you guys having the same issues? And it's almost unanimous across the board. Yes, these leads are terrible. And is this the point where it's kind of like sinking in, like maybe this is the wrong decision we made? Or is it like, hey, this may be the wrong decision, but let's power through this. Let's keep trooping. Let's keep going. Let's find a way to make it work.
Absolutely. I'd say by like week 2 is when I kind of figured that out.
Uh-huh.
After the whole smoke and mirrors, like, hey, let me take you out on my blah, blah, blah. And, let me do the wine and dine stuff for you.
On the old the yacht trip that makes you
There
feel
we go.
special.
Yeah, there we
That's
go.
such a joke, by the way. That's disgusting.
And I was like, okay. I was like, this is cool. And then about 2 weeks later, you start to hit the leads. Like, I'm trying to make some money, and there's like, absolute garbage. I'm like, these people don't know what's going on. These are not new. These are not somewhat new. I don't know what some of them have been talked to 100 times. And, I was like, these are not what they said they were. Yeah. So the free leads and the high comp, was really all bogus. Like, once I looked into it, I found out, after contacting carriers myself, like, just because I got the comp at some percentage, depending on some people's age, would change that. So I was like, well, I mean, that'd be nice to know, like, a little bit. Don't just throw a comp grid. I mean, that's not real, like, because that's not. And I was like, but, I started getting shorted, 10% of what I was supposed to get through final expense alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I called that out. That's kind of where, I was, I did it for 2 months, and then I was like, I just can't do it anymore. Like, I can't not say anything about it. I have to speak up to somebody about it. So I did. And so, yeah, that was rough. I mean, right before, like, I got right before rent's due, right before all my bills are due, Christmas is coming up, and now I'm starting back over. Like I said, I have nobody to blame but myself. But yeah, I mean, throwing the high comp at me, throwing the leads at me, all that stuff was fake. I mean, it was all wash. It was trash. And a lot of people that even went over, they're not even they are not even working in the industry anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at all. And
that company just chewed them up and spit them out.
Which is sad. It really is. Yeah. Because they were like,
is.
what happened? Well, yeah, we gave you a bunch of leads. And, one person specifically is like, yeah, you gave me a bunch of leads that were a year and a half old. What are you talking about? These are not leads. Like, I might as well just buy them myself. I've already been in the hole for this long, so I'm trying to get out. So what are y'all on helping me at all? And he specifically said, he's like, I wish I would have stayed where I was. I was like, I hear you on that. I was like, trust me. I was like, I do. I was like, but I basically burned the bridge there. So, maybe you didn't. Maybe you can contact them. He was, no. I was like, all right, let's go back to, trying to hit what we know. And then that was just shunned upon. Like, no, don't do that. I was like, well, that's what I know. Like, I haven't been in this industry very long. I don't know it if I don't know it, I don't know it. I'm trying to learn, but you guys aren't helping me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, hey, once I get you in there, you know, and don't get me wrong, like they were trying to help, you know, help people that I was bringing on new. But when I had questions, was it Friday or Saturday? I'm in a house, I'm, you know, like trying to figure something out, trying to call, no answer, no answer, no answer, no answer. I'm just like, all right, let me wing it. Let me just kind of go with this, hope this thing like rides. So I ended up falling everything back to final expense, you know, more or less, just because I knew it. But and kind of went off of Lance's strategy with like the month, you know, how much you pay a month, broke it down just kind of in a T, you know, all right, we can save such and such for, you know, 2-3 years, you know, kind of did it that way, you know,
Like almost like a critical period coverage.
exactly. A critical illness period is like a 2-3 year period term. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the only way I knew. That's the only way I knew. I didn't know anything else, and
Yeah.
you know, that's, you know, it was sad, but you know,
So when you say that that you know they're trying to say, hey, don't do it that way, was that final expense? Was that telesales? Was
so
that
it was phone sales and final expense.
so they're telling
And
you not to do telesales, not to do phone sales?
meanwhile, they were coming out with blank, blank, blank virtual sales, and I'm like, why? What's the difference? Like, I don't understand why I can't do that. Is it just because I'm not buying that lead,
Yeah.
or like, well, I don't like, you know, please elaborate. Like, well, if you want to do it your way, you can do it your own way. I was like, well, no, I'm just asking. I'm trying to find out what's wrong, because I have like a bunch of people calling me that are downline of you that are asking me that. So I'm just trying to figure it out what exactly you mean. I understand the whole liability and stuff like that of, you know, certain lead vendors, but I'm using good lead vendors. Like I'm buying these, you know, from companies and stuff like that. So I don't understand. But hey, you need to basically write this carrier. You need to write, you know, you need to start focusing on mortgage. Yeah, I understand you may take a pay hit. Use your final expenses, just, you know, your live transfers. Use those as just kind of, you know, a layup here, there, you know, once or twice a week. I was like, but that's not. I was like, that's gonna be a huge pay hit. Like that's gonna be huge. Like that's gonna hit me hard. But yeah, I mean, that was. I didn't really understand that because I feel like final expense. If I can write 3, 4, 5 policies a day, and even 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever a day, and somebody can do one mortgage, we're still going to weigh out. However, I know they fall off a little quicker, you know, but I was not wanting to go house to house. Obviously, where I live, West Palm, you know, Broward, Dade, that's pretty well locked up counties. You can't really get much there anyway. So, you know, there's few and far between really to get in that area. And I had to drive about 2 hours to really get into areas that I could. So I bought those on, you know, 10/13, and I never received one until after I left. And now I'm getting hit with a bunch of them now, but I can't see them.
So what you need to do, I'm gonna say this live. I don't care. What you need to do is you need to let them know. You need to go talk to them and say, hey, I've already left. You need to stop these charges and take these leads and resell them because you're going to do it anyways because they do that. And when they try to challenge you on it, say that's fine. Go back to your bank and you say, hey, I already canceled these and they won't stop. I want you to terminate these charges or stop these charges, block this company, and I'm disputing this transaction.
Yes,
Because
sir.
that company is
69 bucks, 69 bucks, 69
is
bucks,
fraudulent.
69
The company is
bucks.
so fraudulent. They do that all the time.
I was like,
And
man,
and
I can't even
now
see
it's coming. Now it's starting to flow through, and it's just like hitting you over and over again when you're not even getting any money and you left the company, and now they want to try to hit you. They do this all the time. This is predatory. It's predatory, and it's fucking disgusting. Excuse my language,
I mean,
but this is going to be a powerful one. I'm getting heated right now, man.
I mean, it took me
So
in the negative. Like I'm like negative $1,500 like on my business account. It was like boom. And I even showed Lance. I was like, man, you can have them if you can
yeah.
find them. I can't find them. I don't know where they're at. Like I'm looking,
Oh yeah, dude.
and
Go
I was like,
to your
they're
bank
not
and
here.
dispute those transactions. Like I would do that as soon as we got this call.
Yes,
Absolutely,
sir.
dispute them
No, I
because it's
appreciate that,
predatory.
Lance.
So,
So,
and that's for all agents. That's for all agents that are over there that are having the same issues from the same predatory lead companies that are doing that. Like That's disgusting that they're doing that. It's not okay.
And I was told, hey, 2 to 4 weeks, and then it got kicked back 4 to 6 weeks. And I was like, all right, well, we're past 6 weeks. Like, what's going on? Like, am I going to get these? You guys have already charged me a lump, but now they're starting to drop in. Now you're hitting me for $69, $69. I can't afford them right now. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so I did ask, hey, can you stop these? Yeah, I'll let them know. Boom, another one.
I'll let them
So
know.
I'm like,
They ain't let them know.
I was like, gosh. I was like, okay, but yes, sir, I'll definitely do that. I appreciate that.
So, I mean, you're going over a lot of issues that were over there, and this just showcases the predatory nature of why there was such a massive transition, and why there's this unanimous voice of people that are saying all the same thing, of the lies and the deceit and the just lack of leadership and caring for agents, because they care more about lining their own pockets. They care about that you were a number to them. They care more about lining their pockets so that they can pay for a yacht, you know, and they can have something that they treat themselves, and then they showcase it to agents. They bring you on to make you feel special, but it doesn't do any. It's smoke and mirrors. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's just like the convention. I was like, this is a hype party. I was like, I came here for a hype party that I paid for. I was like, I couldn't even afford this $1,200 trip alone. I didn't want to go, but I have to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, that stinks. Did I learn a lot out of it? Yeah, I learned that everybody that's on the top is staying on top. It looks like that's what I learned.
Yeah.
And congratulations, you know, you guys are doing awesome. Keep up the good work.
You mentioned them, all the agents that, you know, you brought on, they didn't put in your downline. Did they ever put them in your downline?
So that's why I started. That's why basically I left. So what happened was I brought up this 10% thing, and I brought up a very big group that we write a lot of business with, and it's my number one. I mean, I love the company. That's my favorite company, and I was like, I've been getting, you know, 10%'s been missing. It says on the document, you know, what I'm getting, and it says final expense 110, but I'm getting 100, so 10% is missing. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. So finally, I was like, all right, let me take it up. So I took it up a little bit, and next thing you know, I got a DocuSign. It was a blank DocuSign. I had no idea what this DocuSign even was. I was like, what is this? And I didn't really even question at that time. It said signed. And then next thing you know, it said me signed. So I just signed it. And then boom, got hit with an email. It says, hey, yeah, we're going to be putting these agents downline of you. And I was like, hold on, no. I was like, why would I want those agents now? I was like, it's been 2 months. Y'all said y'all were going to do this whenever I brought them over. But I was like, they don't even work in this industry anymore. They're done. They're out. Like, they're not even working. So I contacted 2 of them, and they said they got hit with chargebacks. And I was like, so now I'm about to get hit with debt. I was like, that's why they're doing this. I was like, he doesn't want to eat up that debt. So now I'm getting the downline of the debt. And the worst thing was, and I have an email, which it's kind of funny. It says, can we please give him his money for all these backdated policies? And whenever I brought that up about hey, no, I'm not taking agents downline, they said, all right, we'll put you on paid as earned. And I was like, okay.
So because you didn't want to take agents, because you said, hey, I brought these agents, you did not give them to me, you ended up churning them out of the industry, and now they have roll-up debt, and now you're giving them to me. So no, I don't want them because I didn't even get the commission overrides for them. Now they're
nor
saying,
the chance to ever even talk to them to try to help them through their problems. So I was like, I never even got to speak to them. You know, like, you know, I brought one guy over, and he was doing really, really good right off the bat. And they're like, hey, we're going to make him go lateral. That way we can spread these legs out. And I was like, what's that mean? And you're going to get the volume, but you're just not going to get the overrides. I was like, well, what's the point of that? I was like, I thought the whole point was like, I bring people under me and we kind of grow as a team, and I make mine. Oh, I see. So you want this bonus next month and you want me to withhold some policies and make them all hit in 1st of November, but no, look, I need money now. So when I can get it now, I'm going to get it now.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a ticking thing that didn't make them too happy. You know, I'll say that, like, for sure. And
even though that's fair, you brought those agents, those are your agents. And so this is the kind of predatory bullshit that they do, and they think that they're going to get away with it. They think this is not going to come to the light of day. They think that these agents aren't talking and telling this. If you hear
so
this,
I was actually told that he said, "Hey, you're not allowed to speak to anybody. You call me only." I was like, "What?"
I'd be like, "I'm a 1099 agent, and I'm independent, and you're not my boss. Get out of here."
So I only tried speaking to him, you know, and then I had other people's downline calling me. They're like, "Yeah, I need help." They're not answering the phone. I'm like, "Dude, I was told not to speak with you. I'm sorry. Like, I'll try to help you out, like, as much as I can, but I was told not to, like, speak. I was told not to speak to you." And I was like, I don't know really what's going on. I'm sorry. So yeah, that, you know, it was like just being micromanaged in a different way. Like, I couldn't control it at all. And I was, you know, trying my best just to write. But, you know, like, even my wife came in and she was like, you're distracted all day. I was like, I know. I was like, I wish it wasn't like that. I wish I could just put my head down and write and buy leads and just leave me alone. And I was like, you know, it won't happen. It can't happen, you know, because I'm getting hit left and right, you know, by my upline calling me and talking to me for an hour and a half on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, bro, we got a meeting in an hour. You're talking to me for an hour and a half right now. When can I work? Like, let me know when I can work, please. So, you know, after they pulled all the policies and tried to throw the downline on me, I was just have to get out. So
they throw that. So the response is to throw the downline at you once the debt rolling, and now they want you to take responsibility for that, even though they said you can't talk to them, you can't mentor them, you can't help them. Leave them alone. Let them spread their legs. We're going to put them to the side of you, but give you the volume. What kind of BS is that? You're not going to get paid for any of their commission overrides. That's downright illegal. That is downright illegal.
Yeah, they were mentioning bonus. I was like, so what do I have to hit to get the bonus?
Oh, the bonus is the most convoluted. No one understands it. That's why no one can explain it. No one can explain it.
Where am I at? I was like, so where are we at as a team? Like, where are we at? Like, how close am I, or how far? Like, you know, can you give me that? Oh yeah, I can give you that. I never got anything about that. Never knew anything about that. Don't know. Still don't know. I don't have a clue. You know,
everyone's chasing this carrot, and they don't even know what the hell they're chasing because they don't even know what it is.
Exactly. It was just like build, and maybe hope, you know, you get a bunch of people or something like that underneath you, which, you know, now, like I told Lance, I was like, I just want to be by myself. Like, honestly, I was like, I think that would have been the best move ever. Just let me be, you know, let me write, and, you know, if I can, and, you know, whoever wants to make the override, I mean, they can, you know, but I was like, there are some things that I need to correct, and, you know, Lance will help me correct them. You guys, you know, by listening to the podcast, which I've listened to a lot of things from you guys the past few days, and, you know, there's a lot of stuff I could correct. Just making sure, like, the closeouts and stuff are going good.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a very, very shady company to say the least. And everybody said that. Every single person in the world told me that. And then, like I said, I got there and I was like, this isn't like that at all. And I even told the owner that. I was like, this isn't like that at all. And he said all this stuff, like, you know, this hype man stuff. And after that, it turned into just that. I was like,
it turned into exactly what he said it was.
Yeah, I was like, it turned into exactly what everybody said. I was like, this is brutal. I was like, gosh.
It's disgusting. It really is. Like,
terrible.
Well, Nick, I appreciate you coming on board and just telling the story, telling your truth and what you experienced, and we're glad to have you back. Let's do the right things going forward so that you can be successful, you can make the money you need to make, and you can take care of your family over the holidays, but also not find, if you ever get to that point where you're stressed and, like, there's a lot hitting you, and, you know, we don't want you to the point where you are tempted by other people reaching out to you or stuff like that because you feel like you're in such a
So I got a new number. That's why I was like, hey, I'm gonna get a new number. I'm gonna give it out to 15 people. I was like, no, who cares? I gave it out to like 15 people. That's it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is my number. I was
Yeah.
like, I'll give it to some of my customers, and like, no, I'm like, I'll bring something else up, and this is, kind of, I feel like kind of important. I don't really want to talk about it, but I will. So like me and my wife, like, we're trying to have another baby. We were trying to have another baby at the time. So I went through 6 months of like urologist like therapy, and I was taking HCG. So like I was taking a woman's, like I was taking like estrogen, and it's because of my past. Like, yes, I've done some stuff in the past, stuff like that, and I felt my brain like literally like I felt like a nutcase sometimes. I was like, holy cow, like, like I'm having like these mood swings, over like, it was shocking. My wife was saying something about it. And I was like, I don't know, just like, hopefully it gets better is what my doctor wants. And so I went through it. And then it was just boom, like one day it cleared up. And I even told Lance that. I was like, it was pretty humbling. I was like, to see the type of character that I could portray or even displays. I was like, because it's not who I was. Like, I was like, man, I was flipping out, paranoid, and about a lot of stuff that I don't, I was like that. Well, would never bother. I'd be like, who cares, whatever, like now I got a million people talking about me. Who cares? It's all right. Like, I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be, with my family and stuff like that. I'm happy that we got everything fixed and my wife can get pregnant and everything's good. And I was like, it was definitely worth it. It took a lot of money to do, but yeah, this is the month that we expected, and that's a whole nother task. But
Yeah. Well, man,
like that's the number one thing in the world I've wanted. So
yeah. Well, I wish you and your wife luck on the baby. That'd be
yeah, I
awesome.
appreciate it. Yeah,
So,
absolutely. So,
if you're an agent watching this and you're not with ADV1 and you're at the practice company and you're seeing these things are not normal in the industry. It's not okay. It's not okay. Don't justify it. Don't make excuses for it. Stand up for what's right. And when you stand up there for what's right, you're going to get ostracized because the culture is rotten and the leadership is rotten. And it's gotten to just about every manager there. I thought that the people that you told me, Nick, that you're under, him and her, I thought that they were good people. I've talked to them multiple times. I've talked to them since my transition. I know where they came from. And come to find out, they're just as rotten as everyone else. Like, this kind of stuff that happens is disgusting. It is not okay. And if you're going through this, you have to know, you need to know that there are other companies available that will help you to be successful. ADV1 may or may not be the right fit for you, but I can promise you this, that there are other companies that will take care of you with leadership. There are plenty other ones that are in the insurance space, the other IMOs. And I can tell you for certain that one, because I spent a long time there, is rotten to the core. And I'm going to spend every waking moment saving every agent, because it is not fair that they are going in debt and being treated poorly with shitty leadership and being made to feel that they're the problem because they're not working hard enough on leads that are resold multiple times to the same agents, on business that's getting overwritten by other agents within the same company. These are shady and illegal business practices. And the time is now to stand up. So, Nick.
I appreciate everything, Mr. Greg, I do. So if there's anything anybody needs to clarify or anything like that, I mean, yeah, they can feel free to to reach out to you, chat, or whatever they want.
And obviously, you're not going to give your phone number out, but if someone wants to reach you, can they reach you on your Instagram handle?
They can message me on Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. Like, I deleted Facebook. I deleted Instagram. I did everything for like a month. I was like, look, I gotta go. I gotta get out of this thing. So
yeah.
People were reaching out to my wife, and I was like, I gotta get rid of this thing. So I got everything back up. But yeah, they're more than welcome to message me about it. And if there is anybody that, you know, like I didn't mention, you know, I need to apologize to, please just let me know. Like, hey, you hurt my feelings. You did this. I'll be more than happy to call you one-on-one and apologize to you as well. But,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I made a mistake. You know, and I know it happens, but
Well,
as far as leadership goes, the leadership here versus the leadership there is, hey, you got leadership for a couple of days, and then that's how you get. That's what you got.
it's an
And they're gonna
act.
be like, I do everything for you. I'm doing everything for you.
It's
I'm
an
like, well, you've
act.
done nothing.
It's
You've
a
done
dog and
nothing.
pony show to like attract you in, and as soon as you're in and you're locked in and you've started to buy some leads, that act is going on to the next person to sucker the next person. That's not leadership.
No,
That
yeah,
is
not at all.
that is a dog and pony show that they're doing constantly over and over again with these frigging events, like you were saying, to attract all these people in and talk about how much money everyone's making, but they're not talking about how much money people are losing. What are people actually profitable with? How much are people spending in order to say they write 40,000 a month? How much do they spend to do that? How much is left at the end of the month after they spend for their admin, their office expenses, all the leads for their agents, the roll-up debt, the massive amount of roll-up debt, because there's such a high percentage of business falling off the books. What's left over? What can you actually enjoy your time with? Because if you're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and at the end of it, and you're spending so much money, but you're like, oh, I have all these deposits. Yeah, but when everything's said and done, you only have like $6,000 to show for it. Was it really worth working 80 hours a week? No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
So,
no, you're absolutely right. But yeah, then I appreciate it again, Mr. Greg. So
it's my pleasure, and
Chris and Mr. Curry and Lance and everybody. So
we're glad to have you back, man. We're glad to have you on board. And for all you agents watching, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you do a couple things. First, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, because we're coming to you each and every weekday. I'm your host, Greg Birch. If you got anything out of this, if you were touched by Nick's story, I was touched by Nick's story, but if you were touched by it and you got something out of it, do me a favor, share this. Share this with the agents that need saving. Share this with the agents that are having the same issues as Nick, that don't have the ability or don't feel they have an outlet to speak up. Let's speak up together against this. It's predatory and it's illegal. It's immoral. It's unethical. Let's fix this. So thank you so much. You guys take care.
Sir, thank you.
Until next time.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks, Mr. Greg.